So we just came back from the Metropolitan Museum of Art over here in New York City, and this whole time I was thinking, right, how does this relate to blockchain at all? Because obviously, I'm addicted to this stuff. As you can see, I walked in with the Bitcoin shirt. They even asked if I wanted to donate in Bitcoin, actually. But like I was thinking, how can I incorporate this, right? Or how would it make sense? And I remembered, Rarible, right? That's the same marketplace where you can buy and sell digital art using NFTs. And museums could easily do something similar to that, right? So obviously, these museums are filled with art from across the globe. America, Africa, Europe, all these different places where you can find these rare artifacts that are thousands of years old. And the museum does a pretty good job at preserving them and showing them to the public, right? Me and my girlfriend over here, we walked around a little bit, and we saw literally pieces of, now they're art to us, but pieces of culture and society that's hundreds of years old, thousands of years old, that we would have never seen if it wasn't for a museum. So where the blockchain could come into play here is, just like we currently do with the non-fungible tokens on Rarible, and people make their own art, we could assign these different artifacts, let's say maybe a sword, or maybe like a painting or something. Like, we assign that a token on the Ethereum blockchain, right, a non-fungible token, and that gives people the ability to buy and sell them, right, on this marketplace. I'm not saying on Rarible specifically, but it could be something that the museum themselves create. But this not only, it pretty much, to me, it almost kind of like increases the lifespan of that piece of artwork or that culture, right? Because now you don't have to go to that museum to see that art and really, to really like live that piece of art that you're looking at. You can see it on the blockchain. Imagine tying a dead body to the Ethereum blockchain. That sounds really morbid, but taking a sarcophagus and assigning it an NFT on the blockchain, that's crazy and unheard of, right? Who knew, to think that 4,000 years later, after that person is dead and buried, that person, he or she, whoever it is going to have some sort of life 4,000 years later on something we call the internet, or the blockchain. That's pretty nuts. It'll be available to you literally in an Ethereum transaction, as crazy as that sounds. But the other cool thing I was literally just thinking about before I made this video was, imagine the museum implementing this where, you can literally buy and sell these pieces of art or culture again, but have them stay in the museum, even though you'll have ownership of them, right? So it could literally be a way for the museum to actually raise money. Because currently, I don't know how the museum makes money at all. My cheap ass, I paid about $1 to get in there, because they tell you that you can donate however much you want to get in. So of course, I gave them a little dollar. I told them that if they accepted Bitcoin, I'd give them more. But anyways, the point is that you'll be able to pretty much trade ownership between these pieces of art and have them stay in the museum, so people can still look at them physically, but the person who actually owns it will change, right, over time, depending on, of course, who's buying it and who's selling it. And then the museum themselves could get a cut of that profit when someone buys it and sells it. So to me, it's like a really interesting idea, but it could work really well in favor of course, the museum, because I don't know how they currently get money. It's probably from donators or sponsors or what have you. But I thought it'd be an interesting way to actually raise money for the museum itself. But no, with that being said, I think that's going to come soon, right? Assigning these different pieces of art, in this museum, non-fungible token addresses, just so again they're more liquid now, right? People can access them from across the globe. And it's integrating into one thing, because listen, at the end of the day, I think everything is going to be tied to the blockchain, no matter what, and I think that way would be really good for the museum. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'm over here at Central Park, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day with the bay. See you guys in the next one. Boom.